welcome into the Flippin' Hippos YouTube channel. I'm Star, and today we're doing one of my favorite videos to make every month. It's plush that's sold on eBay. Today we're looking at all of the plush that sold on the platform in August of 2021. So this is every single plush that sold on the platform, the good, the bad, and the ugly. I like you guys to see the bolos and the really good flips, but I also like you to see the bread and butter, the mediocre, and sometimes even the mistakes. So without further ado, let's jump right on in with what you're looking at. This is Kelly Toy brand teddy bear. He is a bear that has a corduroy face and he's got a heart pillow, so he's kind of like Valentine's Day themed. I didn't use the keywords Valentine's Day in his title. However, if I had listed him closer to February or January, or if he had lasted that long, I would have rearranged his title to include that. That's a tip for you guys. If you know a big holiday is coming up, and this doesn't just apply to plush, it applies to clothing like t-shirts that are graphic tees or scrub tops that are themed, other types of toys and things, figurines. When you know a big holiday is coming up, you can always go through your listings and double check the titles and make sure they say Valentine's Day, St. Patrick's Day, Halloween, whatever holidays around the corner, to increase your chances of flipping the item during its hot commodity time, as I like to call it. Anyway, Kelly Toy is kind of a bread and butter, lower end bread and butter brand, but they also make Care Bears, and I believe Kelly Toy makes the Squishmallows. Don't quote me on that though. But Kelly Toy does make some expensive plush, and they make some mediocres. When I find them in the wild, I usually pick them up. I usually get plush for 50 cents to $1 in wholesale lots as well, so I don't mind listing them. This guy sold for a best offer of $10.79, and he shipped first class. Next up, we have Daisy Duck. She is an official Disneyland Walt Disney. Let me show you her Tushy tag. That's an older tag, so she's probably vintage, but because it didn't have a year on the tag, I didn't want to put the word vintage in the title. I try to not use the word vintage unless I have a date on the tag. So the fact that she is an official Disneyland Walt Disney World plush makes her a little bit more valuable. I know that sounds weird being that she was listed for $14.99. A lot of the main Disney characters from like the Mickey Mouse and Friends group are very oversaturated on eBay, and they tend to sell and comp very low. But the official Disney store or Disney parks will give it a little bit more value than, say, the Hasbro, the Mattel, the Just Play. Daisy sold on a best offer of $13.49, and she shipped first class. Here's some more Disney characters. These are Winnie the Pooh. Winnie the Pooh also tends to be oversaturated. I've especially found that my Tigers comp very, very low. But if they're unique in some way or official, like I said, I like to grab them. These are official from the Disney store, and they're unique. They're in choir robes, they have wings and halos, and they're really super cute. And I also sold them as a lot. So I paid $3 for them altogether. They were 99 cents a piece. Years ago at an old thrift store way back when in Pennsylvania, they finally did sell. The lot sold for $28.12, and they did ship first class. Next up, we have a little generic Easter check. This guy came in a wholesale lot, so I didn't necessarily like pick and choose him out in the wild or decide I was going to source him. This is something I probably wouldn't source if I were picking and choosing at the thrift store or a church sale or something. But whenever I buy a whole lot of wholesale plush, I tend to list everything in it because I'll get plush that are worth $25, $30, sometimes even more. And then these little guys are just extra profit. And plush are so easy to photograph and list that it just doesn't make sense to not list everything that comes in the box. So you can list and sell plush without brands. You just got to be very, very good with your keywords so that people can still find them and they'll still buy them. So this is an Easter check. Springtime's a good keyword to use along with duck, spring. I mean, he's cute, but he sold for $10.12 and he shipped first class. Next up, we have another Disney. This is a Woody. I bought a whole lot of Woodies at a church sale a couple of summers ago. I want to say 2019, right before the shutdown. And actually, I come to find out, this is a funny side story, but the person I bought these from is actually a viewer on Casey's channel. And I was talking to him a couple of months ago on one of Casey's live shows that we were moving down to Florida. But he's like, I remember you and Keith. I sold you the Resellers and the Woodies. And I'm like, oh yeah, because Keith had bought a whole bunch of Resellers, like the figures from this guy, and I bought a bag full of Woodies. So this Woody didn't have his hat, but he still sold for $10.99. So a lot of times, again, I'll list Plush if they're missing a part, missing a piece, just because the character is so popular that it would still sell. Here we have a Boyd's Bear. This is one of the small ones. It's only a 6-inch. Boyd's Bears are solid bread and butter. Solid. They will sell. They will sell quickly. They don't sit for very long. They don't go for a lot of money unless you have like certain specific ones that folks are looking for. But I have never gone wrong with getting them, $1 or less a piece. And they go for like $12 to $20 depending on the bear. And again, there are some that can go for more than that. But they usually don't sit but for a month at the most. They just seem to still be really popular. This one didn't have her little cardboard tag. If you're familiar with Boyd's Bears, they usually have these cardboard tags on them with like a handwritten looking name. So this one was a little harder for me to find because she didn't have hers. But she is super cute. And again, she didn't take that long to sell. I did take a best offer of $12 on her, and she did ship first class. Here we have a Miss Piggy. This was sourced by yours truly way back when we were still learning how to source. Of course, it looked good. It might still look good for 50 cents. I might still pick this up. I only paid 50 cents for her. Clearly, it has a date on the tag, 1987, so I can prove that it's vintage. So there you go. That's in the title right there. But it seems like maybe the Muppets are oversaturated as well, because even being vintage and being a popular character, she doesn't comp very high. And she did take several years to sell. Don't be discouraged by me saying that a lot of these plush took several years or took a while to sell. That is 1000% normal for 99% of your plush. Plush are very long tail. They sit longer and take longer to sell than pretty much any other category I can think of other than like antiques or antique furniture. It just is. It's just a fact of life. Most of the time, these lower end plush, you're waiting for the parents that are looking to buy a replacement toy or doll for a child that lost it or left it somewhere on vacation or something. And then your higher end, more expensive ones, you're waiting for that one adult in the world who wants, a $60 World of Warcraft or Build-A-Bear, Star Wars, or whatever they're looking for. They just take a long time to sell. Plush are a whole entire different world when it comes to sell-through rates. And most of them are going to take a very long time, like 9 months plus to sell. You'll luck out sometimes, of course, and list something that sells overnight or sells really quickly. There are some plush that do move fairly fast, like I think Boyd's Bears and Neopets, certain Build-A-Bears. If there's a new movie coming out or a new TV show or something is making characters popular again, like every once in a while Ninja Turtles will have like a moment to shine and they'll sell really quick. But I just wanted to put that in there. I still see posts every single day in our Facebook group saying, I've had this plush listed forever and it's not moving, and you find out it's only been up for a couple of months. And that's not that long in plush land. All right, moving on. We have a Dream Boxer Puppy Dog Hand Puppet. So this came in a wholesale lot. That particular lot had several of these Dream puppets of different breeds of dogs. They started selling right away when I started listing them. And I think it's because they're puppets. Puppets are like quicker than any other plush to sell. their sell-through rate's a little bit higher and faster. Puppets are a bolo, definitely. There's some brands out there that make puppets that go for like $100. There's some that are like $50 to $80. And then there's some like this one, you know, I started him at $14-15. He was on our 25% off sale and he sold for the $14.06. But puppets are definitely a bolo. If you don't like dealing with bread and butter, you can always comp them before you source them or purchase them for resale. And make sure you're getting the higher end ones, but they move so quickly. I don't even mind the bread and butters. Puppets, definitely keep your eyes out for. Here's a Gans Webkins. Gans Webkins, y'all have heard me say this a lot if you've been on this channel for a while. So I apologize if this is a repeat information, but if you're new to the channel and you don't know, Gans Webkins are hit or miss. I would say that a solid amount of them are really good bread and butter, volume, and filler plush. So they're going to be your lower end, like $12 to $16. They move mediocrely, like some of the animals will sit for a very long time and some move quicker. And then some Gans Webkins, you get home and you comp them and they're like $25. And you're like, what? And there's really no rhyme or reason because I've honestly seen some without codes sell for more money than those with their codes. So I always tell folks they're hit or miss. Comp them before you buy them if you don't want to mess around with filler or low-end bread and butter. Again, most of my cost of goods is 50 cents, so I don't mind it. I love having filler and easy bread and butter plush. They're easy to photograph, they're easy to list, they're super fast and easy to deal with, but they do take up a lot of room. Keep that in mind. This particular caterpillar did not have its code, and it sold for $13.12. And I also wanted to point out one more thing. Gans Webkins have this on their tush tag. Underneath of their normal tush tag that says Gans, they always have a number and what their animal is, and you want to use that in your title. Some will actually be more specific, like black bear, brown dog, white cat. This one just says caterpillar, and then it has the HM434. You always want to put that in your title because the folks that do collect these do search for those exact parameters. So you want that in your title to give yourself a better chance. Next up, we have a Dandy Collector's Choice Pink Bunny. He is super cute. Like, look at how fat and round this guy is. He came from the Benz, so he was probably about 10 cents total cost of goods. Dandy is a good brand. It used to sell at Kmart. Most Kmarts are closed around the nation, and people can't find them anymore. There are certain dandies that are really sought after and go for a lot of money. The majority of them are going to fall in the bread and butter category. I took a best offer on this rabbit of $14. And I believe up till now, all of the plush I showed you have shipped first class, if I forgot to say. We'll tell you otherwise if we have any heavy ones this month. This is just a mouse that came out of a lot, so I listed it. It's a DH toy mouse. I think someone told me it came from a show or something like after the fact, and I probably could have gotten more money for it, but I didn't know what I had, unless it is just a generic mouse. Let me know in the comments. If someone knows who this mouse is, let me know. But he did sell for $10 and shipped first class. Next up, we have a Neopet McDonald's promo toy. So you guys, Neopets are a bolo. The regular sized and larger Neopets sell for really good money. There's a dragon named Scorchio. I've sold him in red and blue and different colors. I've had an electronic one that talked. He always sells really fast and for over $20. So keep your eyes peeled for Scorchio. But all the characters are good. You can see here that even a McDonald's toy that's a Neopet can be listed for $14 to start. I did take a best offer of $12.59 on her, but that's still really good for a McDonald's toy. So she also sold within like a week of being listed. So you guys keep your eyes peeled for Neopets. Next up, we have a Tweety bird that's unique with the blue hearts, which is why I picked it up. Again, some of the Looney Tunes characters are just like your Disney characters. They're going to be oversaturated, and you're going to be real disappointed when you go home and comp them. So I try to only look for official ones. Namco's a good brand, though. it is a good brand for most plush. Namco that's there, but this also has the Looney Tunes on the tag as well. It's not a Warner Brothers store or anything like that, but he's blue and he has hearts on him. Tweety Bird is typically yellow, so this was unique. And I did accept the best offer of $15.50, shipped first class. Next up, we have a Lovey. If you don't know, if you're new to the channel, I love Loveys, and I completely endorse you guys going out and seeking these out everywhere you source. If you can find these, they are a definite BOLO. Even the lower end generic ones from like Target and Walmart will sell for close to 20 bucks. For whatever reason, these have a really high resale value. They move quickly and they are super cute and very easy to photograph to make them look enticing. Loveys, you guys, if you don't know, if you're new, they're little squares, security blankets, but they're usually very small, like 12 by 12. And they come in all colors and prints. And in the middle, they'll have a stuffed animal. It's usually just the animal's head, but sometimes it can be the whole upper body and the head. They come in all animals. They sometimes come with soft dolls. I've had Winnie the Pooh ones. I've had a hungry caterpillar. But they are really, really good to source. You can see that this is a Magic Ears with a bear, and it has I Love Mommy on it. And it sold for $16.16 on a best offer. Next up, we have another Gans Webkins. This is Glitzy Dragon and does not have its code. And you can see there, I took Glitzy Dragon right off of its tag and put it right into the title for a good keyword to have, and the HM616. The Dragon, I did accept the best offer of $10.79. Also shipped first class. Here is another dragon. This is a Classic Toy Company dragon. About 5 years ago, 4 years ago, I would have really been behind telling you guys that Classic Toy Company was a solid bread and butter brand of plush to be sourcing and listing in your stores and reselling. I still like it, but I don't seek it out as often. When we first started reselling any Classic Toy Company dragons, especially, but any of the plush I had, they would flip really fast and for like $16 or more. And then I noticed they started sitting longer and longer and longer. And when I started rechecking comps and when I redid our plush guide for 2021, I saw that they had kind of gone down in value. I don't know if they just got oversaturated or the company lost its popularity. They're not soft plush. They're very hard, like carnival prizes. They're very cheap. But they used to do really well, even though they were cheaply made. That's what I always told people. But they're real hard. Like you can't squish them. They're just that real hard material. Again, they're like cheap carnival toys. I still pick up the dragons, though, if I find them for like 50 cents or whatever. Dragons are a very popular animal, and they do pretty well on eBay, regardless of the brand. So this orange and red Chinese one sold for $17.81, and he shipped first class. Next up, we have the white whale from SeaWorld, and I just kind of threw in some keywords to try to help her out. Beluga, ocean, she's vintage. Kind of disappointed. I mean, it's smaller, it's only 9 inches, but I really thought that this white whale was going to be so unique and so different from the orcas and the normal ones you see from SeaWorld, the killer whales, that it would do better, but I took a best offer of 10 and I only paid 50 cents for her, so that's fine. She shipped first class. Here is another Neopet, and it's also a dragon. This is the Shoiru dragon, and it sold for $11.99 and shipped first class. And then we have a generic teddy bear. So again, this is another one that just came out of a lot, and I list everything that comes in my wholesale lots, all of it, because the couple that are really worth money are going to pay for the lot, and then everything else is icing on the cake. So he didn't have a brand, so I just put teddy bear and then as many keywords as I could, and I took a best offer of $10.79. Sorry, I had to check my notes. And he did ship first class. Then next up, we have a dandy bear, a 10-inch bear that is really super soft. I mean, you can even just see in the picture, he looks soft. And he has a bow and he's super cute. And I'm going to show you this one as well for a reason. This was another generic one. So I just put teddy bear and then crammed in as many keywords as I can get in there to help him out. And the Dandy Bear, which was listed for $18 on its own, and the generic one for $14, sold together for $31.98. We do have a sale set up in our store where if people spend over $25, I believe it is, they get like an extra 15 or 20% off. And so this person took advantage of that and bought both bears and got a little bit of a discount. And I love both buys. I'll take it any day. Both of these bears fit together in one poly bag and shipped out first class. So that was a nice 2 teddy bear flip. Next up, we have a red dragon from Manhattan Toy Company. Manhattan Toy Company is a good brand. It's a vintagey brand. It used to be worth a lot more, but like a lot of things on eBay, it's kind of gone by the wayside. I'm not even sure if it's just that it's oversaturated or just a lot of people list it very low. It is a very cool dragon, as you can see. And dragons, again, are very popular animals. Any of those medieval magical creatures like unicorns and fairies and dragons tend to do well. This dragon sold for $18.74, and it did ship first class. And then the last one is, speaking of the killer whales from SeaWorld. So apparently all the plush that we sold in August on eBay all shipped first class. So we didn't have any that went priority. The reason I wanted to mention this is because we do ship our first class animals in poly bags, and we list them with free shipping, which is built into the price. Any of our stuffed animals or plush that weigh over a pound, I list with calculated shipping on it, and we ship in priority boxes. There's a 12 by 12 by 9 priority large shipping box you can order from USPS.com for totally free. You can order a couple hundred or a couple dozen, whatever your needs are, and they're free. And you can ship those and fall just under the parameters where they start charging you for the astronomical shipping prices. Items that are larger than 12 by 12 by 12 are when you start getting into that. So anything that you can cram in 12 by 12 by 9 box that you order for free is going to still fall within normal priority prices. And you can just put calculated on your listing and have the buyer pay for it, or you can do a flat or a free. But I personally, if it's not going to go first class, I won't do free, because there's really no way to build in for me if someone in Hawaii buys from me here in Florida. So I just wanted to point that out. And I do have a video somewhere where I talked about all the different ways of shipping and what we use. I'll actually have that pop up for you. But let's talk about this last guy. So this is the orca, the Shamu, the famous black and white whale from SeaWorld. It is a larger plush. It's 18 inches. And there's its official SeaWorld tag. So Shamu here sold for $22.49. So the killer whales are definitely a bolo. I typically tell anyone anything from any kind of theme park or destination vacation place is definitely a bolo. So keep your eyes out for those. If you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns, leave a comment down below and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. You can also join our Facebook group, Flippin' Hippos Reseller Pod. It's a really good group of really nice, like-minded, positive individuals, really good atmosphere. You can always tag me in there if you have questions or ask the other group members. Everyone's super nice. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram as well, where we will be doing a giveaway later this month for List Perfectly. And go be productive. Go make some money. And as always, thank you so much for watching. Y'all are the best. Bye.